We've had our Champions League adventures and we're already 6 games into the league campaign. But last night we took our first step in the Scottish Communities League Cup against Raith Rovers. Having seen his team beaten in 2 Hampden finals, this competition has taken on a special importance for Neil Lennon and his coaching staff. Today's Huddle Online on Wednesday the 26th of September has all the highlights and reaction from last night's game, an evening when Hooperman stepped to the fore.
Matthews taking the ball forward under pressure from Spence, slips but keeps the ball. Dylan McGeoch helping on to Ambrose in the middle of the park. Effie just looking so strong there. Gary Hooper just caught in possession though. Raith Rovers just playing it back across the back 4. They're going to build patiently and Alan Walker's the man coming forward to collect. Lifts a long ball forward here for Brian Graham. Lucas Zaluska out and gets a hand to it. No chance, there's shouts for penalty but no way. Lucas Zaluska gets his hand in the ball. Brian Graham just kind of fell over the keeper's outstretched body. James Forrest breaking forward here. He's got Dylan McGeoch racing forward. Gary Hooper's there. It's on to Dylan McGeoch. He's breaking into the penalty box. Goes by Malone. Lovely ball into the box. And it's played into the back of the net by Gary Hooper. That was putting a plate for the Celtic man there. And it's 1-0 Celtic with 12 minutes played.
A nice ball out to Dylan in the right hand side. And he went outside the defender and played the early ball across goal. And there was Gary Hooper where we'd expect him in the right position. And he buried the ball.
Dylan McGeoch racing forward here. We've got Adam Matthews in the overlap to his right. Adam Matthews takes possession, looks to beat Malone, plays it back to Dylan McGeoch on the edge of the penalty box. He's cutting inside, plays it in to the feet of Gary Hooper, back to McGeoch. Oh, and what a save that is there from the Raith Rovers goalkeeper, David McGurn. It was a wonderful save because that shot took a deflection. You see it there, McGeoch plays it into Gary Hooper. He knocks it back to McGeoch. His shot takes a wee deflection. McGurn sees it late and gets a great hand to it. McGeoch will look to swing this in with his right boot here. A few players queuing up. Oh, and it's a low one in to Gary Hooper's feet. McGurn makes another great save. Victor Wanyama in the follow-up. Falls for Thomas Ronyon. It's hit the post. It's hit the post. We've seen some well-worked free kicks for Celtic this season. That was straight from the training ground, Mark.
A really well-marked move from Celtic. We've seen it a few times. That near post one went straight to, I think it was Gary Hooper then. Effie Ambrose was in there. That shot was blocked. It fell back to Thomas Rogney and he cannoned a shot off the post.
Jason Thompson takes the throw into Walker. He's everywhere for Raith Rovers today, so busy, such an important player for them on the ball here, trying to go beyond Beram Kayal. Plays it inside to Graham, back to Walker. That shot's deflected and it's in. We spoke about that man just a moment ago and he's fired off a shot. It's taken a deflection and Mark, it's 1 each here with 28 minutes played.
And it was a sliding challenge of a Celtic defender that took the ball over Lucas Zaluska, who was stranded, nothing he could do, and it just crept in at the far post, and Raith have restored parity in this match.
Let's see who's queuing up at the back for this one. A few of the big guns are up there. It's really congested at the back post. Wilson comes near. Beram Kayal just stole in there with a late run, gets his foot in the ball and helps it back the post. We've seen some great training ground moves, Mark, and that's another one, I think.
Another good set piece from Celtic, and created several chances so far through them. And if we keep getting those good deliveries into the box, we will get further chances in the game.
Lovely play in midfield from Effie Ambrose, who finds James Forrest. He beats Jason Thompson. Ball's across there, and it's a goal! It's a goal for Celtic, and what a wonderful goal it was.
Instigated by good play from Effie Ambrose, and a lovely ball to James Forrest, and that was a wonderful cross into the box with pace on his left foot, and it left Gary Hooper the simple task of guiding that volley home into the back of the net, and a lethal finish from the Celtic hitman, and he's really on fire just now. He looks full of confidence. Grant Murray will be saying, we've got nothing to lose, you may as well go out in this half, have a go. But here's Effie Ambrose on the ball.
Yep, beating Joe Hamill there, taking possession. Ambrose breaking forward, edge of the penalty box, fires off a shot, and he just seemed to, was that a toe poke?
I don't think it was a toe poke. You've been very unkind to him so far. You described him as the water carrier and a toe poke. I thought that was fine play from Effie Ambrose there. First of all, winning possession and cutting into the box, and a left foot striker. I thought he's just putting his laces through that there.
Yeah, it
McGregor.
certainly was a great drive from the big man, and it's just wide of the post. Commons sorry, not Commons, Forrest. It's Effie Ambrose in the middle of the park.
I was going to say it's an easy mistake to make, Gregor, but
it's not really.
It's not.
And it's Adam Matthews cutting inside here. Hooper in the ball, fires away. What a goal! A fantastic goal for Celtic, and completely out the blue.
Hat-trick hero Gary Hooper, and you know he's had 3 chances tonight, Gregor, and he's put all of them away emphatically. Just as you say, came out of the blue, just a couple of quick passes, the ball was moved over to that right hand side. Dylan McGeoch involved again, cutting inside, played a nice ball in. I think it was Adam Matthews, and Gary Hooper raced onto his pass and buried that ball into the far corner.
Effie Ambrose across the park now to Charlie Mulgrew, who's racing away. Celtic really in full flight now. James Forrest in the ball. Forrest jinks inside, looks for an option. Charlie Mulgrew's gone wide to his left, but he plays it back to Effie Ambrose, dead centre. Now plays it out wide to Dylan McGeoch. Ball inside now for Beram Kayal, and it's another goal. Beram Kayal squeezed away the shot. Wraith Rovers couldn't clear, and who else?
Gary Hooper again. Goal number 4, the Celtic hitman, and what an evening he's having, in the right place, in the right time. Once again, a good effort initially, I think, from Beram Kayal, and when the goalkeeper couldn't hold it, who was there? But Celtic's top scorer in this competition, certainly to bundle the ball home.
McCourt onto Ambrose. Ambrose to Charlie Mulgrew. Charlie Mulgrew helping inside to Gary Hooper, back to Forrest, and that is just incredible. The loveliest of layoffs there from Gary Hooper. James Forrest steps up and with his right boot curls a wonderful attempt and goal. It cracks off one post right across the face of goal and then goes out of play. Paddy McCourt in the ball here. He might be the man to provide the 5th. Plays it back across to Adam Matthews. Matthews with a long range effort. I'll tell you something, for a man that's not scored a goal for Celtic, what a strike that was from Adam Matthews. Must have been about 30 yards out. Looks up, rifles in a shot with a right, and it's a great one-handed save from McGurn.
Effie, it is only one match, but that was probably the best possible start to your Celtic career. A great game for you.
Yeah, I think so. I had a good debut for myself and for the team. It was a great thing for me and the team to help the team win 4-1. It's marvelous, it's great, and I feel happy to make a great game today. And I thank my colleagues, my teammates who helped me to make this debut a perfect one for me, and the coach, which has given me the confidence to play. Tactically and everything, morally, support, everything he has given to me, so I was able to come into the game with confidence because I know I had a good training with the team and everything went fine, so I was able to adapt on time, and to be able to play like I played today was great. It was amazing.
Now, we heard all these stories about you being a big uncompromising defender, and then I got to see you putting in 90 minutes like that, playing in the centre of midfield. You did say you were a versatile player and you looked very comfortable out there.
Yeah, I'm the kind of player, because I was brought up like this, because you know right back in Nigeria is difficult, so you have to try and play in a different position to be able to play in some kind of team, because they like utility player. So I thank everybody that made this possible, because it's not easy playing a different position, because the mentality, your ability and everything has to change. So playing the midfield or in the defense, anywhere the coach put me, which I believe I can help the team, is what I like the most, because I'm the kind of player that like fighting and to win.
I was going to ask what you thought of your first taste of Scottish football. It can be quite physical, but do you think it's perfectly suited to you?
Yeah, you know, before now I've been watching the Premier League, the Scottish League, so I think I've learned so much even before I came here. So it's made it easy for me, because watching it and learning from what I'm saying. So as I came here, I looked the way they played the first game, and I watched some couple of games in the Champions League, so I was able to know the kind of style they play, the kind of pace they have and everything, so I was able to adjust myself so that when I get in it will not be a new thing to me.
You seem to have settled in very well as well. You seem to be really enjoying yourself here at the club.
Yes, I'm enjoying myself, because they are very great people here, lovely people, the fans and everybody I've seen is amazing here. So, and the coaches, the management and everybody, they are fantastic. So it helped me to settle down well, and I have my colleagues, Rabiu and Victor, which has made it possible for me to adapt with, to know the style of play. They encourage me outside the pitch, inside the pitch, so it has been good.
And on top of that, you've joined the club at a very exciting time. We've got a top of the table league clash against Motherwell on Saturday now, and then the small matter of a Champions League game in the horizon too. The games are coming thick and fast.
Yeah, I know this, so that's why I'm giving everything I could to be able to get into the team to help in any way I can, because we have the great players here. So but I will work hard to see any way I can help the team to achieve their good and to achieve mine too, to be able to put everything they've put in me for bringing me here to achieve that purpose of being here. So it's not easy, but I'm going to fight hard and work hard for it.
Remember, you can follow both myself and Tony on Twitter. You can reach me with all your comments at GK on the Huddle, and you'll also find Tony at Polished Turnstile. Well, that turned out to be an excellent match, Tony, and I think a great exercise for a squad that was really starting to recover from some of the injuries we've had.
It was great to see a few people back as well, Gregor. I thought Gary Hooper was exceptional last night. He scored 4 goals. Slightly nervous when it went back to 1 each. Great to see Beram back. Great to see Joe Ledley back. And how good is Efe Ambrose?
Well, it's incredible, isn't it? What a debut, and how composed does he look?
He just, I thought he was going to be here as a central defender, which I know that he can play in. But he looked really, really comfortable in that central midfield role. And I know it was first division opposition we were playing, but still, it was breathtaking.
He was probably my man of the match, although when I said that, a few people slapped me and said...
No, listen, I actually agree with you. I know Gary Hooper scored 4 goals, but I think in terms of, greatest play through the game, I think it was Ambrose.
Now, looking at the goals...
I wouldn't get any trouble for that, am I?
No, not in the slightest. No, looking at the goals themselves, I mean, some of them were great strikers' finishes. This opener was a perfect example of that.
I think it's good just to go and get an early goal. Gary Hooper scored his first league goal at the weekend, and this was just a great, as you say, he's 5 or 6 yards. I think it's his left foot as well. Dylan McGeoch get a ball across, and he's in the right place, and it was great. And I think it was good to see Dylan back as well, because he is a player who we saw get a horrendous injury in Philadelphia against Real Madrid, and he looked back to his absolute best last night.
He also came very close with this one. This is a great save for me from David McGurn.
Again, it's just persistent play at this point, and I think if we were to score another goal before Raith Rovers score, then I know it was 4-1. I think it could have been 7 or 8 goals actually.
There was another chance for this one as well. I thought the keeper first of all did very well, even to get a hand to that, but Thomas Ronya then goes on and hits the post.
Again, it's just extreme pressure, and I know there's not a huge amount of people here to see that last night, but those who came and made the effort and got here, and it was a terrible day actually in Glasgow, would have been thoroughly entertained. I
thought Raith gave a great account of themselves. I mean, there was a few very good players in there. They never turned it into a kicking match, even when the goals started to go in. And they gave us a real fright through their man of the match, Alan Walker.
Well, I spoke to Jackie McNamara and Simon Donnelly before the match. They're playing Raith Rovers next, Partick Thistle, and I says, who's the danger man? And it was the guy that scores this goal. It did take a deflection, I think, off Kelvin Wilson, but that was the one guy that they had singled out, and he was great.
I thought he was absolutely everywhere for them, but thankfully that was really their only good chance of the game, and Gary Hooper put us back in front.
Again, it's just pressure on that goal. I think there was over 1,000 Raith Rovers supporters had come through to see this, and I think at this point they must realise that the floodgates are going to open. But that was the pick of the bunch for me.
And what about Big Efe in the middle of the park?
Absolutely brilliant. He's just so composed. It'll be a different story when we see him if he plays against Spartak Moscow, for example, or I suppose even here against Hearts. It'll be a different proposition completely. But last night he looked exceptional.
After that we were really in the driving seat, and Gary goes on to make it 3.
I was expecting even in the second half for us to score 3 or 4 goals, to be honest, but I'm not disappointed that we only scored another 2. But again, the goalkeeper, he thinks he's got the angle covered at the near post, but you know, obviously his confidence is really, really high at this point, and he just sneaks it in at the back post, and it's brilliant. It's just a great finish.
Clever play from Adam Matthews as well, who's been in and out.
I thought he was great. You know, charging up and down that wing, he reminded me of a young Tom Boyd. That's how old I am.
Don't say that. He was one of my childhood heroes, but
he was great, absolutely.
And Berham was also in the mix. I mean, it was quite a quiet game for him, but he was involved in the fourth goal.
I think just to have him back, because he's been out for so long, the manager took an opportunity to bring him back to introduce Joe Ledley, and that was just a tap in, but it was just they all count, as they say. And obviously another upside of this is to give a rest to Scott Brown as well.
Now, we saw 4 great goals in the night, but the 2 chances that occurred late on in the game, for me, if they'd gone in, they would have been contenders for goal of the season. What about this from James?
Again, he's involved in the play on the left-hand side, and that, I've no idea how that never went in.
It was just a wonderful shot.
An absolutely stunning shot.
And just so close. I
mean, and we've saw him go in so many times before, and then Adam Matthews, who's not renowned for his goal scoring prowess again, but this was another opportunity. And to be fair to the Raith Rovers supporters, Gregor, they just absolutely backed their team until the very end, and although the scoreline didn't go their way.
I mean, this sets us up very nicely now for the top of the table clash on Saturday. I should remind people it's a 3 PM kick-off.
Yeah, it's the first time that we've had a Saturday 3 o'clock game since the 1st of October 2005. We played Livingston. So it's not live on television in the UK and Ireland. The only place to see it is Fir Park if you're in the UK and Ireland, or on Celtic TV if you're overseas.
And it should be an absolute cracker of a game as well.
Well, I think a lot depends on what happens tonight, because Motherwell go to Ibrox tonight in the League Cup, and that'll be interesting as well. That'll be quite surreal, I'm guessing. And I think Hibernian can they play at the weekend as well. So I think we're lying in 3rd place at the moment. We've got a game in hand. So it's a game probably, in terms of going to Moscow on Sunday to play on Tuesday, that the manager will feel that he needs to go and win.
It is just a really, really intense run of fixtures, but we seem to be hitting form at the right time.
But it's absolutely relentless at the moment, isn't it? It's just game after game after game, but would you have it any other way?
Definitely not, and especially yourselves getting that trip to Moscow next week, which will be absolutely fantastic as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Now, just a wee note before we go tonight, and I should say that the Celtic View is out in shops today, and it also contains a free poster, which is of the most windswept team photograph in Celtic history. I mean, it's worth buying alone for the expressions on Georgios Samaras and Paddy McCourt's faces. It is absolutely fantastic. Shot in a wind tunnel at Lennoxtown, and
which is a wind tunnel.
It really is, and a great wee bit of Celtic history and memorabilia there. But make sure you get your copy of that and have a chuckle as well. But Tony, as always, thanks very much for coming in today, and thanks very much to everyone who's logged in for today's show, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.